Imagine waking up to the sound of jet engines roaring across the skies of Kabul. Not a drill, not a show of force, but real airstrikes ripping through the night. Sirens wailing, the city trembling, and the world watching in silence. What's happening right now between Pakistan and the Taliban government in Afghanistan isn't just another border dispute. It's a storm-gathering force, one that could redraw alliances, reshape the region, and test the fragile peace that millions depend on. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underreported yet most explosive stories in South Asia, the escalating tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and why this could spiral into something far more dangerous than most realize. It started as most conflicts do, not with a declaration of war, but with mistrust. In late 2024, reports began emerging of Taliban fighters crossing into Pakistani territory, attacks on border posts, and Pakistan responding with artillery and airstrikes targeting militant hideouts allegedly inside Afghanistan. But here's where the story twists, because Kabul claims those strikes killed civilians, while Islamabad insists it was targeting the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, a militant group that's been launching deadly assaults inside Pakistan for years. The question is, who's telling the truth? And more importantly, how far will each side go before the world steps in? Think about this. Pakistan once helped the Taliban rise to power, supported them diplomatically, and even urged the international community to engage with them. Yet now, these two former allies are standing on opposite sides of a burning border. What changed? Some say it's betrayal. Others call it blowback. Pakistan accuses the Taliban government in Afghanistan of harboring the TTP, the same group responsible for bombing schools, army bases, and even police headquarters across Pakistani cities. But here's the irony. The Taliban leadership in Kabul insists they can't control every fighter hiding in the mountains. It's like a mirror reflecting both sides' fears. One fears losing control, the other fears being stabbed in the back. And while the politicians argue, the skies are no longer quiet. Drone footage, though unverified, shows craters where homes once stood, and eyewitnesses describe sleepless nights under a sky that hums with uncertainty. You can almost feel the tension building. Every border incident feels like a match hovering over dry wood. Will it ignite? Or will diplomacy somehow smother the sparks before it's too late? But before we go further, let me ask you this. How many times have we seen two nations, both scarred by decades of war, repeat history because they couldn't escape the ghosts of their past? It's not just politics. It's human tragedy, unfolding frame by frame. And yet, beyond the fear, there's also something else, a dangerous silence from the international community. No major power wants to get directly involved. The U.S. has pulled out, China remains cautious, and regional allies are whispering, not shouting. Why? Because every side has too much to lose. And just when you think it can't get worse, something new happens on the border. Reports of Taliban convoys mobilizing, Pakistan reinforcing positions, and civilians trapped in the middle. The question no one dares to ask, are we witnessing the early stages of a regional war?
The truth, as always, is layered and dangerous. Behind every explosion on the border lies a political calculation, a desperate attempt by both Pakistan and the Taliban to prove strength without admitting weakness. To outsiders, this might look like chaos, but to insiders, it's a deadly chess game where every move is designed to send a message. Pakistan's airstrikes aren't just about neutralizing threats, they're warnings, signals to Kabul that Islamabad's patience is running out. And for the Taliban government, already struggling with economic collapse and global isolation, backing down would mean losing the one thing they fought 2 decades for: legitimacy. But here's where the real tension brews. Inside Pakistan, citizens are divided. Some demand harsh retaliation against militant groups, others fear a repeat of past wars that drained the nation. Meanwhile, Afghan villagers near the border are living through sleepless nights, unsure whether the next explosion will fall on their homes. Think about it. 2 countries, both victims of the same terror networks, now turning their weapons on each other. It's like a wound tearing open just when it was beginning to heal. And yet, while both sides point fingers, something far more complex is happening in the shadows, a battle of influence. Regional powers are quietly choosing sides. China, with its massive Belt and Road investments in Pakistan, wants stability at any cost. Iran watches closely, worried that border violence might spill into its western regions. And the U.S.? Well, Washington's silence speaks volumes. America has stepped back, leaving a vacuum that other powers are only too eager to fill. The fear isn't just about war, it's about who controls the aftermath. There's also an information war playing out in real time. Scroll through the headlines. Afghan media calls it aggression. Pakistani outlets frame it as self-defense. Social media floods with emotional clips, some real, many manipulated. The world's perception is being shaped tweet by tweet, clip by clip. And if you've noticed, both governments are using fear to unite their people, because in times of crisis, fear can be more powerful than truth. But amid the noise, one haunting question remains. What happens if this escalates further? Experts warn that a prolonged border conflict could destabilize not just Afghanistan or Pakistan, but the entire region, creating ripple effects from Iran to India, from China to the Middle East. Refugee flows could surge, trade routes could close, and extremist networks could exploit the chaos to rise again. The last time this region saw instability of this scale, the world ended up paying the price for decades. Here's the part few talk about: the human cost. In towns like Khost, Chaman, and Spin Boldak, families are packing what little they have, children clutching school books that may never be opened again. In the cities, fear of reprisal attacks looms. And yet the world scrolls past, distracted by other headlines. It's almost poetic, how silence can be louder than war. So, where does this story end? Maybe in peace negotiations that pull both nations back from the brink. Maybe in more destruction that forces the world to finally pay attention. Or maybe, and this is the terrifying part, in the slow, quiet slide toward a conflict no one intended, but no one stopped. Because wars don't always start with declarations. Sometimes they start with silence. Before we end, ask yourself, who benefits from this tension? And who loses everything? The answers may surprise you. If you want to understand how regional power struggles and intelligence operations have shaped this crisis, click on the video appearing right now, where we uncover the hidden hands behind South Asia's most dangerous standoff. Stay informed, stay aware, and remember, in today's world, understanding the story behind the headlines isn't just knowledge, it's survival.